Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now today, there was a joint parliamentary group meeting that brought together the UDA members of parliament, and of course the Senate, and the ODM members. So this is a meeting, again, that brought together the ODM party leader, Oburu Odinga, and the UDA party leader, President William Ruto. Now, in this meeting, the Sifuna group was missing. They literally boycotted the meeting. I think they have their own reason, and this will be a discussion for another day. But on this video, my focus is on Oburu Odinga. Oburu Odinga was given a written speech. And so, what he was supposed to do was to read that speech. Then, if he has something to add on it, he can go ahead and do so. But instead, Oburu Odinga rejected reading that speech, and he said that he will give the speech to the president, that the president will read the speech. He alleged that he is not good at reading, and therefore, he would deliver his speech without really reading the written one. So, Kithure Kindiki, being Ruto's deputy, went forward to pick the speech from Oburu Odinga and hand it over to the president, yani yeye mwenyewe ajisomee.
Your Excellency, I said I'm not very good at reading speeches, and therefore I will leave this my speech. I don't know, I will give it to the president, but I have spoken my heart. I've finished what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Now, I was wondering if there is a written speech that was supposed to be presented before this PG. Then Oburu refuses to read the speech and hand it over to the president. So was the speech made only for the president or for this congregation and the Kenyans because it was streamed live? So I'm still wondering, maybe bado nimepotelea mahali pale. Because we expected to at least know what was in that written speech. Ilikuwa ni nini? But anyway, I would want us to go in the discussion. But before we go into this, I have a quick and humble request. For those who are watching the channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Now, inasmuch Oburu Odinga said that he is not good at reading the speech, Kenyans are still asking, what was the real reason that made Oburu Odinga not to read that speech? What was the reason? Is it because he's not good at reading, or there are other reasons beyond that? That is the question Kenyans are asking. This is the same question we are asking on this punchline. And I have been going through the comments. You would see what Kenyans feel about this. You would see Kenyans reacting to this, giving their views on that action. Kuna wale wanasema, Mheshimiwa Oburu Odinga is a good comedian. It's just good for comedy. And therefore, what they see in the whole issue here, when Oburu Odinga stands to speak, it is just comedy, nothing else. That is what Kenyans are concluding. There are those who are saying that in this speech, they had placed to cook Oburu Odinga by putting words in his mouth. That it really did not originate from Oburu Odinga's people, but from the state. And therefore Oburu was just to read this statement. Paka kuna wale wanasema kwamba hii iliandikwa na Itumbi, Dennis Itumbi. Sasa Oburu Odinga, having scrutinized that report, he decided that he will not read that speech. That someone is trying to cook him by putting words in his mouth. Yani kuna yale ambayo si yake, but they are forcing it on the paper so that he can read it. There are those who are saying that this speech was written by Junet Mohammed. So, and you know that at some instance, we've had the issues of Junet Mohammed and Gladys Wanga controlling Oburu Odinga. Like, anything that Oburu Odinga want to do, it must be Junet and Gladys Wanga who have gone through that issue. Wakikubali, wakikataa, even when Oburu Odinga stands to speak, they guide him. There is that perception, people believe that Oburu is not really just doing his thing the way he's supposed to do, but instead there are some other forces behind him, giving directives to him. Sema hii, usiseme hii. There was a time even Oburu, Junet Mohammed told him, sema na Kijaluo. Paka wanamwambia ile lugha atatumia kusema maneno. So, there are Kenyans who are believing that Junet wrote the speech, and after Mzee going through the speech, he discovered that the speech is not worthy to read in the public, and hence, he declined to read that speech. So, there is this issue of forcing Oburu Odinga to read a statement originating from somewhere else, but not really what he believes in, what he stands for, and what he wants in ODM and for Kenyans. So there is the belief, by the fact that Oburu said he is not good at reading, it was just a way that he was using to refuse to read that statement. So the Mzee did not want just to read the statement. These are views of Kenyans as far as Oburu Odinga's position not to read the statement is concerned. But Kenyans are also asking serious questions. That if Oburu and ODM are saying they want power, now imagine this is the man who need to represent the president in a situation where he is not able to be available by himself. And atakuwa running mate and atakuwa deputy president. So imagine having a deputy president who can be sent to a serious event where there is presentation you need to do. Then you avoid to do those presentations simply because you are not good at reading or you can't read. So this is what Kenyans are daring at. Huyu ndio kiongozi wako naye sasa. So imagine huyu ndio deputy president wako ambaye anapewa speech. Has gone to meet international dignitaries, serious people, for serious business. Then you can't read. It also exposes Oburu Odinga's capacity to deputize the president. Unajua, ukienda meetings zingine kama zile zinakwanga za unga, the unga, where there is always written speech. Kwa sababu kwa zile vitu ziko transparent, yani unaweza ona. Hapa lazima uende na speech yenye imeandikwa. Imagine now you have Oburu presenting the president in such matter. Huyo ndio deputy president. Yani being a deputy president, you are just one step to power. That means in absence of the president, or if the president is incapacitated in any way that he cannot perform his duty, you step in. Let's imagine having Oburu, umesema wanataka power. So this action also exposes Oburu Odinga, makes him look weak and not worthy to be a running mate. I don't know if it's, but please let us know in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much for listening to me up to this far, and see you in our next video.